Do we want to make some noise while you're here?
If you can, sir.
Yeah.
We'll try it.
Thank you.
During the starting process, Greg has already flooded the carburetor. He's turned the switch on, and this time he's going to have the battery connections unshielded.
We hope.
Okay, Greg, I'm at the distributor side of the engine, and I'm looking past the front spark plug and behind it into a little device with what appears to be a petcock on it.
Priming cup
Priming cup.
for cold weather starting.
Okay. Now tell me the theory here.
You pour gasoline into the bowl, which then runs into the combustion chamber. Close the valve, and you should have a rich mixture.
Right in there, already inside the cylinder.
Such a chore on the inside. You can
sure.
sandblast the outside, but
Could
I
you
don't-
put it on a roller with rocks or something?
yeah, but I don't
Small
like
rocks?
contaminant inside because you'll never get it all out.
Greg, I
Tell you
stumbled
where
across this
somewhere.
gas tank over here in the corner. Looks like it came from Staples. Would you tell us a little bit about this gas tank?
You can get new ones from Staples.
If that came from Staples, I would go get a new one. There's got to be a lot of work there, and I have yet to look forward to that project.
Do you know what size gas tank this is?
No, I don't.
I'm guessing 25 gallons.
Perhaps.
And I noticed some new tires over here too. Where'd you get those tires?
They're new production. Actually, those are made in Vietnam now. But
And do they have another use for these things and you just happen to latch on, or did they
no,
make them?
no, these are done expressly for the collector car market,
I see.
and it's not a common size, which makes them even harder to come by.
Do you think that the tires were that color back in those days, or?
Tires were natural rubber, which result in white,
Okay.
up until about the time of World War I, when we started adding carbon black. So then the tires went to gray, and then ultimately to black the way we have them now.
Thanks again, Greg.
Sure.
Greg, it's September 23rd, 2007. I'm back at the shop. I took some poor images yesterday, and I want to correct some exposure problems. So I'm going to ask you to show me around. You got time to do that?
We've got time.
Okay, Greg, I underexposed this device. You want to run through it one more time for us?
Okay. This is an exhaust pressure regulator. It receives exhaust gas from the exhaust manifold into this port. It cools the gas, it condenses it. It's got a drain cock at the bottom so you can drain the moisture. But it takes that exhaust pressure.
Let me get that drain cock real quick. There it is. Okay, got it.
Takes exhaust pressure. You regulate it with this adjustment, and then that pressure is then sent to the fuel tank
Okay.
for fuel pressure to force
Would
fuel
you
to the
show
carburetor.
Would you show us where the exhaust gas comes out of the manifold? Right there.
Right there.
Goes right into that 3/8 inch fitting.
Right.
Okay, Greg, since you got that light on it, could you tell us what that device is we're looking at?
That's the crankcase oil level indicator.
Yeah. I didn't get a good picture yesterday. Now we can see it, and there, inside of it you can see the little indicator itself.
Yeah, it's a wire on a cork.
Wire on a cork, floating in oil.
Right.
Okay, I'm under the car looking forward and up at the bottom of the water pump and a forward running piece of plumbing. Greg, what am I looking at?
That brass tubing is the water inlet to the water pump. That receives water from the bottom of the radiator, runs it into the water pump. The pump then forces the water into the cylinder blocks and then out the top where it rejoins the radiator again.
Now we're up at the top of the water pump and we're looking at the hoses coming off of a Y fitting, and they're going into the block, I take it, Greg?
They go to the bottom of the cylinder blocks, water jackets, and it's then forced out the top.
They go in two places, right over there behind the ignition harness, and right there, low on the engine block, and then this big brass fitting on top goes into the top of the radiator, and that's the hot water going out into the top of the radiator.
That's right.
Okay, yesterday we didn't get a very good picture of these primer cups or priming cups. You understand, well, would you tell us how you did it, and you just articulate it?
These are used mainly for cold weather starting. The car has no choke, so you pour raw gasoline into the bowl, open the valve, gasoline runs into the cylinder, close the valve, and it might start.
Okay, Greg, I didn't get a good picture of these devices. What are they?
The spare tire irons. These are what the spare tires saddle into.
Okay, let me swing over here and see if I can get both of them so people will see how they... Now you would carry two spare tires, right?
Yes, it came with two spares.
And while we got the good picture here, you can see the oil supply tank underneath the silver object with the cap on it, right?
That's what it is.